All right, continuing our series on what we're calling the tool truck alternatives, helping you stay off that truck, put money back in your pocket, yet still get the same kind of quality or near-ish kind of quality, or near enough you can't notice a difference and it does the same job kind of quality. We're talking about today Capri Tools. Now, Capri Tools is one of the quieter ones out there. Now, they're not as well known as Tecton or Gear Wrench or Harbor Freight's Icon line, but that doesn't mean that they don't still have a high quality tool that is worth your attention that you should definitely be considering. We've talked about Capri on and off for years on the channel, but I'll be honest, this is our first time doing a deep dive, doing the whole, you know how we do it here. We do the whole corporate colonoscopy kind of thing and climb up in there to find out who exactly they are, who's behind the company, and whether you should trust them or not. So let's jump into it. All right, first we're going to jump through their website here because they are mostly an online seller. Even most of their resellers are online sellers, but that doesn't mean that they're not a good choice for you. There's a lot of companies out there doing that these days. It lowers the overhead and lets you get a higher quality tool cheaper, allegedly. So let's take a look at their website just to see what the breadth of everything that they offer here. Okay, first up, sockets. We got impact sockets. They get a huge selection of sockets. We're not going to take time going through each and every single one, but I'm going to scroll down through here and you can jump out and see ones that you want to see, like the stubby sockets here. We got those in the shop. Where did I had them? I had them right here. We go. Yeah, I'm on top of things, right? You saw them in the preview there. There's the stubby sockets. This is a nice little set here, and we're not going to do a full video review right now on these. This is more of a corporate overview and what you can get from the company, but I just wanted to show a few key items here as we step through it. And just for full disclosure, Capri did send me these, which is interesting because I talked to Capri about 2 or 3 years ago and they wanted nothing to do with, influencers and people on YouTube and stuff like that. And now suddenly they're all about it. Anyway, well, businesses change and we're open to that. So let's see what else we've got here. Next up, besides the impact sockets, we've got, of course, got the bit sockets, the chrome bits and bit sockets. I think they kind of got their name. At least what drew my attention was these bit master sets that they have here. Hex master bit, star bit, 88-piece master bit socket. These were really, and they're affordably priced for what they were, at least when they go on sale and stuff. But then we come down into the chrome sets. We've got, sets with rails and other kind of adapters. And we get into the standard kind of socket sets and stuff like that here. I don't think I've got any of the chrome sockets on hand, so I can't really show you those. But they have a good selection of them. They seem to be well made from the ones that I've seen. They've got 6-point, they've got 12-point, your choice, deep, shallows, wobbles, that whole 9 yards, the typical kind of stuff you're going to see. All right, and then we've got the ratchets, and I already showed you the ratchet. All right, I got one here, and if I can get the camera to focus on it and not me, you can see it's got an interesting bevel there in the design. I got a thing for this kind of blue, this I don't know, it's not quite a Tiffany blue. It's not a robin's egg blue. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. A fairly slender head. This is the 1/2 inch here that I'm holding. Just for comparison, here's Tecton's Comfort Grip, and this is with the quick release here. And you put them up together, and the Tecton is a little bit smaller as far as depth, but as far as width, they're about the same. There's not a world of difference between the two. I know it looks smaller on the camera, but when you put them right up against each other, it's let me make sure here. The width of it's fatter further down on the Capri. The Tecton tapers in, so that is a benefit, but the maximum overall width is about the same. Anyway, they have a whole selection of these of their ratchets. You got the as you saw in the video, they got the 3-piece with the tray. You've got low profile, flex head, super long, 90-tooth, extra long soft grip. The 90-tooth soft grip, that's the one that I've got here. Let me see if I can give you a little ASMR here. I think that AMSM, I don't know what they call it. Oh, that's pretty smooth. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of back drag there. Nice. All right, let's keep going here. We got a lot to get through. Wrench sets, I've got one of the wrenches here, just so you can take a look at it. Good chrome on it. It says, this is the 22, chrome vanadium on one side, Capri Good printing on it. You know, for not having my eyeballs in here. I've seen worse ones here. So, and no teeth or anything special. At least it doesn't do the stupid little notch in right here. Smooth one here, 12 point on this side. Just your standard open end wrench. Good length on it though. You know, 422, I've seen some that are kind of short. This is a good length. It's a big bolt. You're going to want to get some leverage on it. So this one isn't bad. I rather like it. All right, let's keep going here. And they come in the nice foam trays here, and we got offsets. Let's see what else we got here real quick going through these. Oh, we got some, was it Max Chrome Master Mini wrenches. We got 4-in-1 reversible box end. As I said, they've got a huge selection here. They've got a lot of ratchets and wrenches and sockets and bits, quite a bit of those. We go into the torque wrenches. Yes, they have torque wrenches here. One annoying thing about their website is as you bring your mouse down, you bump into these headers and it automatically pops up. So you got to go off of that to come back here. So anyway, and they've got precision torque screwdrivers. That's nice. Like to see that. Let's see what else we got here. Let me go on the next one. And we've got screwdriver sets. I will say this, they're a little lacking in the screwdriver sets. Now, I've not been, paws on, as it were, with the screwdriver sets. But looking at them, I don't know. I look at them and they kind of remind me of the cheap Harbor Freight ones. And I'm sure I'm completely wrong on that. I hope. But that said, they do come in a nice, we got a foam tray, a plastic tray. They look all right. There's not a huge selection. I don't think screwdrivers is their biggest go-to kind of thing. Let me make sure there's nothing else here in the screw. Nope, that's all the screwdrivers. So maybe not the home of screwdrivers per se. And then they've got some automotive tools and general kind of tools. Or these are the wire strippers. We got we got wires or connectors. We got a soldering iron. We got precision strippers. Trying to work their way through college. Self-adjusting wire strippers there. Electrician scissors. Those look kind of cool. Next up, dead blows. Check out the dead blow hammers. That slim dead blow hammer. That looks unique. I know there's a lot of specialty guys who are like, or body guys are like, I've used that 100 times. I'm sure you have. But for the general audience, that's not something they're normally going to get a look at here. So there's some really interesting kind of, as I said, specialty kind of dead blow hammers in there. That's nice to see. This is one thing that they've really leaned into the whole air impact thing. And they've got some really cool air impacts out there. So if you're still running air, I'm surprised if you haven't heard of Capri because they do some great sales and they have some pretty good performance for the money. The one thing I think they're really known for is they have this like swivel one, if I can find it, that does this really bendy kind of thing here. Oh, where'd it go? Is it this one? There's like the flex head angled impact, that one. That's pretty nice. And then they get the palm impacts as well. There's another angled impact in there. So they've got, they've got like your straight die grinders and stuff like that as well. Moving on, we've got, these are the the automotive tools I was talking about, vacuum brake bleeder, flary nut tools, that kind of stuff. Not a lot of it, a little bit in here. And then, of course, they've got the combo sets where you can I want to get a whole bunch. Like the Apprentice, here you go, Apprentice set, $500. You can jump in there. But we're going to talk more about that, like apprentice level kind of stuff here in a minute. They've got a great selection of vices. They remind me of the this is Capri. They remind me of Rigids. They've got a forged steel vise like this. There's some question as to who makes these. I've heard a lot of people speculating. But the style is a common style, but I'd say the price is pretty good. For the 7-inch, $369 forged steel, that's a pretty good price on that. All right, now let's talk about some of the other things they offer. They have a rewards program. You get 2 stars for every dollar you spend, and it adds up, and you can get like gear and stuff like that. They have a monthly catalog you can go through to see all the good deals and stuff. That's nice for those of you. It's not a printed catalog. I know a lot of you are like, I want a printed catalog, but it's at least a flyer you can go through monthly. Now shipping, here's the interesting thing for shipping. You can tell they're based in Southern California because ship times from SoCal are the ones in white. that are 1 day. Light blue there is 2 days. Medium blue is 3 days. Dark blue is 4 days, which is interesting because you can get all the way like to where I am in Livingston here in 3 days. And Billings is like right here, but just outside Billings, all this Crow Nation and all that over there, they got to wait 4 days for them. Like, look at this one right here. Apparently they can get all the way through Arkansas into Memphis and stuff, but Tennessee, you're out of luck. Anyway, and then for you guys up in the Northeast, well, that's your fault for living in the Northeast. 5 days for you guys. Warranty, they have a limited lifetime warranty on ratchets, drive tools, most hand tools, that kind of stuff. 1 year on automotive, air blowguns, torque tools, tool organizers, 2 years on pneumatic tools, and 10 years on the bench vices, hammers, and wire strippers. So, a very, kind of typical, I think, for the industry. All the basic hand tools are lifetime. The specialty tools have their own warranty to go along with them. Now, the return policy, they have a 30-day return policy. You do have to pay shipping if you're returning it. Now, this is not a warranty kind of return. This is like, I bought it, I decided I don't want it, I just want to return it. They give you 30 days, they'll just let you return it, but you do have to pay the shipping going back. So that's to be expected. I don't really see a problem with that. Next up, we got the student discount. They got 3 discount programs. All of them at 10%. Student program, 10%. Military program, that's serving and veterans, 10%. And first responders get 10% off as well. So if you fall in any of those 3 categories, you can knock 10% off. You just have to enroll online. Now, they also have a blog on the website, which is kind of nice when I see companies do this. It adds a little bit of an engagement. It looks like they update it monthly or so. It's not the most active blog, but at least they're out there doing something, trying to communicate with the audience. Now, here's the things where things get a little bit weird. And we go to their About Us page. And it's like every decision we make boils down to these 3 things: people, passion, and quality. And it goes on with a bunch of saying a lot, but not saying anything. And literally none of it is actually about them, which kind of set up a red flag for me. Now, I don't want to sit here and say that you should get all, Scooby-Doo-ish on this and try to figure out, if it was old man Struthers who actually was under the mask. But what I am saying here is, what I find out here is they seem to do a lot, work real hard to stay out of the limelight, as it were. And let's jump through it and you'll see what I mean. And remember, I do this for every company. I did this for Vim, and a bunch of Vim fanboys got all butthurt about it. I've been doing this for companies for years, because when you're going to spend money with a company and you're trusting that lifetime warranty and everything else for them to stand behind it, you want to know who it is that's standing behind that warranty, who you're giving your money to. So let's jump through it here. So we looked up Capri Tools, and they are a California-based company. Don't worry about the attorney names. The attorneys are just the people who file the paperwork. It's typical for corporations to hire an attorney to do all this stuff. I've done it myself. It's a pain in the backside. It's better to have a lawyer do it if you can afford it. Anyway, they talk about what they do: tools, socket sets, hands, all that kind of stuff. Now, this is all public record. By the way, YouTube, all public record. In fact, I even paid access. This is free online kind of public record stuff, all right? So calm down. And anyway, what we do find is the parent company name here, which is Galaxia Innovations. Personally, I would have gone with Galaga Innovations, but, that's just me. So if we look up then Galaxia, because there's nothing else here about them, really. They list the attorneys, and that's about it. So we look up Galaxia, and we find out is they own Capri Tools, Mala, which is a butane torch for cooking, TR Industrial, Power Tools, namely drill hammers, Puro, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, electric coffee maker. We got Pressa, metal pegboards and shelving hooks, and TR Industrial again. So these are the companies that are owned by Galaxia Innovations. But as far as Galaxia Innovations themselves, again, it's kind of a dead end. We get an agent name who's a lawyer. They are based in California again. We do have an address. So I decided, hey, let's look up this address and see what the office is. Because I'm trying to find the headquarters. We always try to find the headquarters, figure out whether it's a legitimate company and stuff. So we find the headquarters and it shows Costco. Now, I don't know about you. I mean, don't get me wrong. The food isn't bad and it's nice and cheap, but I don't know if I would base my company at Costco. Okay, I kid. They're not actually at Costco. But if you look at this is not a corporate headquarters kind of thing. And we zoom in here and we're in this building. So if we grab the little dude here, bring him out and drop him right in the parking lot here. And we look around, we got, this is like a ramen place. I don't know why the name's blurred out. Boiling Point, Golden Nail Salon. There's a Cold Stone over there, My Vapor, and the UPS store. So for those of you who don't know, UPS stores offer P.O. boxes, okay? And many companies will file their corporate paperwork out of a P.O. box for the smaller companies. It is not something new. A lot of people do it. Now, whether they do it between the dentist and the My Vapor shop, I don't know. That's up to you. But I said it's next to Costco. It's got a good ramen place next door. I'm not mad about it, but it does not give us an actual concrete location where we can be like, okay, this is a legitimate company, or is this some kind of front that's just doing drop shipping or something like that? I mean, but looking at the tools, it's kind of hard to believe that somebody who's selling this, which is, I won't say it's unique, but it's definitely not just a straight clone of every other one we've seen out there. They're doing something right here. So who are these people and why are they, hanging out at the UPS in the ramen store? All right. So I looked at the trademarks on here and we got the trademark here. The one with the goat there, that is also for Capri. They go back and forth between the C and the goat. I rather like the goat, honestly. NS Nonstop Tools, that's another one that they've got. TR Industrial, Pressa Puro, all of that didn't give me a lot of information. So we headed over to LinkedIn and I was able to find the CEO's name, and that is Andy Chung. Pardon the pronunciation there, Andy. I'm not great with names. Anybody around the channel, I mispronounce my kids' names, all right? So it's just a thing. Anyway, Andy here, CEO at Capri Tools, Walnut, California. He doesn't post much. There's no picture of him. President of Capri Tools from February 2008 to present, 16 years and 2 months. Nice run at Capri Tools. Prior to that, he was a QA engineer at Sony for just under 3 years. And prior to that, he was a college student at UC Santa Barbara. Santa Cruz is the Banana Slugs. I don't know what Santa Barbara is. Anyway, 2002 to 2005. So, anyway, 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, what was that, 3 years? Got his BSEE, not too bad. That's pretty good there. Maybe I'm doing the math wrong. Anyway, point is that he went from college to working for Sony, which is cool, and then straight from there to founding a multi-million-dollar tool company. Best guesstimate is that Capri Tools does just over $8 million a year in sales. So that's quite and how does an electrical engineer come straight out of school, works for Sony, and then decides, I'm going to found a tool company? Maybe the stuff he was doing is in QA. He worked with a bunch of tools and like, these are junk. I'm going to start my own company. But I mean, there's a lot of capital that goes into starting your own tool company, or I would have started my own tool company years ago. And here's the other thing. I can't find anybody else on LinkedIn who is actively working at Capri. Now, I found people who used to work at Capri, and I found people where it says like, this person works at Capri, they're a LinkedIn member, but you can't contact them because LinkedIn has this thing where you have to be so many steps away so you're not just spamming people. But the other thing is, I have a ton of contacts on LinkedIn, especially in California, and it's really rare for me to not be within X amount of steps of about anybody in corporate America in California where I can't somehow reach out and poke them through LinkedIn because of all the contacts that I have. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It says they have between, 50 and 200 and some employees, so somewhere in that area. But let's keep going down this rabbit hole, see what else we can pull out. There's Capri Tools, 51 to 200 employees. Motor vehicle manufacturing, that's just, LinkedIn doesn't know how to categorize a tool company. Pomona, California, as we were talking about, 93 followers, not a ton of followers, and no other information. Like literally 3 associated members. So there's 3 people linked, but it's not going to show them to me. It's again, I won't say that it's odd. There's a lot of people who try to, let me back up. There's a lot of people who run companies who try to obfuscate who owns the company. And sometimes they just like their privacy. Sometimes they're doing something nefarious. It's rare when you see a company this size that's out in the public, that does business online, and it's really hard to figure out who they are. Now, again, it's not necessarily a red flag, but it is definitely something that you want to think about. Now, next up, TR Industrial. Now, and again, I couldn't find much about them, so I started looking at their other companies. TR Industrial, here's another one of their websites here. It's not nearly as good as Capri's website. Capri is clearly their main cash cow, but they're trying to build up TR Industrial. But when I come down here, we scroll down, we see TR Industrial at 1788 West 2nd Street, Pomona, California. So let's jump over to that address. It's an on-ramp. Now, this one got me really perplexed at first, because I'm like, well, there's that building right there, but there's nothing right here, except I looked over here on Google. It says July 2008. Well, this is an old picture. Let's see if anything changes. We take a step forward. Well, it's a little bit, and boom. Oh, look at that. The on-ramp is gone, and there's now a building right here. This right here is the address right here. This is Capri's offices. I don't know if it's their shipping and receiving, but their corporate offices, and most of the companies are listed as being based at this address. There's nothing on the building. You can't find anything about them. If you go back, it just takes you back in time. Now, it's interesting because most companies, like if you look at them, Vertex China, they make, plates and stuff like that. Who's over here? This is, what was it? Something sports here. And we come down here. You find that most companies really are big on putting their name on buildings. If you build a company, it's kind of, look who we got here, TT Mama or whatever they are. These companies like to put their name on there because they're proud of it. It's an accomplishment. I built this company up to this size. That's a fairly big building. You have any idea how much the rent on that is per month? And yet they don't have a name on there. Now, I did find out that if you do go to the overview and we zoom in, let me pull it back up here. You zoom in and eventually you get in here and it actually does say that Capri Tools is based here. And has their address and everything else. Again, all public records. This is nothing. We're not outing anybody or doxing anybody personally. This is a corporation, a California C Corp, or actually it's an LLC under an LLC. So it's still a corporation. At the end of the day, you have to decide, where your money goes. And you have to decide if Capri is for you. Honestly, I've talked to them on and off for a couple years. They seem to have gotten better. They seem to be more open and reaching out to people. They have a whole list of influencers they work with now. They invited me to it. I'm like, I don't know if that's my thing, but I'm happy to talk about your company and do videos and stuff and talk about your tools. We're going to be doing video highlights of each part of this set. We're going to do the ratchets and the wrenches, and we'll have separate videos for everything so you can get a more close-up on exactly the quality here. Just holding this, it feels like a decent quality. I could definitely see using this daily kind of thing. And I don't see anything else about the rest of the tools. I don't see a huge track record of people being like, Capri stole my money and ran off with my girlfriend and took the dog kind of thing. I don't see any of that. They just seem to be a very private kind of company. Now, I will say this, again, for people who are like, why do you crawl up people's backside to learn all this stuff? I've explained it. And if you don't get it, then you're just being obtuse on purpose. But just to be fair, just to be 100% fair, My name is Jeff King. Here's my LinkedIn. You can go check it out. I went to the University of Cincinnati. Redbeard Studios is the parent company that Dena Tools is under. We are an LLP. It's like an LLC. Some states have LLC. It's limited liability partnership rather than a limited liability corporation. In essence, it's the same thing. It's just some states do it as an LLP. Some states do it as an LLC. We live in Livingston, Montana. We talk about that all the time. You can see my posts and everything else. You can see the tech company I used to work for. You can see my certifications I had. You can see I was a CCW instructor. I was a range master for Scouts. My endorsements, some of the people I worked with. Ed here, he's a great guy. If you ever get a chance to work with Ed, definitely work with him. You know what? Glenn's a pretty good guy too. I give Glenn a hard time. He's an artist though, so we have to give artists a hard time. Anyway, and then, as far as, like I said about the corporate offices, well, these are our corporate offices. And right here in 806 Buchanan Boulevard, 115 in Boulder City, Nevada. And if we come down here and we drop a pin right there, you can see that right here. Oh, look. Come on, go over here. If I can move over, there we go. Not at the 99-cent store. Oh, look. Yeah. So UPS is a thing. It's a pretty common thing with small businesses. Like my location here, we're in a light industrial area. No postman comes here. I had to struggle to get them to get garbage service to my shop. So anyway, so got to have a place where you get all your mail and everything else sent. You set up your corporation and whatnot. And also the fact that it's based in Nevada. Nevada doesn't have an income tax. So there's that. And we split our time half and half between Nevada and Montana. So, it's one of those things. Anyway, point is this. We try to be very open here on the channel, and I expect corporations to be at least as open as I am, or at least allow people access to the company. And that's why we do these videos. So you can sit there and go, hey, I'm going to be spending a bunch of money. Imagine you're buying yourself, you're getting into the trades, or, we get a lot of guys who are retiring out of the trades, and maybe they were a machinist or a mechanic where their tools were provided. Now they're just going to be, doing stuff at home and working on projects for themselves. And now they got to buy their own tools, and they don't want to spend tool truck prices. And I don't blame them. And new guys, you shouldn't be spending tool truck prices because there's no reason to anymore. Back 30, 40, 50 years ago, you didn't have many options. Now you got a ton of options, and that's why we're doing this series on tool truck alternatives. Let me know what tool truck alternative you want me to do next as far as a history, and we'll climb up their backside and see what's next. Anyway, if you like this kind of series and this kind of stuff, why don't you share the video? Also, leave a comment down below. As I said, let me know what you want to do next. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.